Welcome back. On this part of the show, I'm still speaking with Stanley Munyao, the CEO of Musoni Microfinance, on the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on Musoni's business. Let's get right into that conversation. Let's take a broader approach now at the microfinance industry in Kenya. We've seen a lot of activity in the banking space, mergers and acquisitions. From where you see it, what are some of the developments that are going on within the microfinance space?
You recall about 15 or 20 years ago, microfinance started coming up as a major player within the economic development space for this country. And that's all over the world, so to speak. And we also saw the government beginning to recognize the role of microfinance institutions, coming up with the legislations around microfinance banks in order to accommodate a lower tier of financial institutions below, banking, and that has been accommodative enough in ensuring that, that space, the microfinance space, remains very dynamic. We've also seen a huge increase in the number of microfinance institutions in the country over the last 10 years. We are a member of AMFI, Association of Microfinance Institutions in Kenya, and I can tell you the number is increasing every other day of new members. But we are reaching a level where it's now becoming apparent that consolidation may be the way to go. So that we create that big size microfinance institution or institutions that have got the muscles and resources to go deeper into serving the largely excluded segment of the population. So individual small microfinance institutions are good, but they lack the muscle to serve those customers and inability to marshal bigger resources in terms of funding from development financial institutions and partners like those ones. So just like we've seen in the banking sector, I think it is high time now we began seeing microfinance institutions coming together to form large-scale microfinance institutions that can have bigger impact on their customers and that become more sustainable easily than when you remain small and operating, at a limited scale.
Sustainability, it's a big issue, particularly in the corporate world. How does Musoni Microfinance interpret the call to sustainability?
We are actually a triple bottom line focused financial institution. We ensure that our activities, our lending processes and procedures take care of the environment. We don't lend to activities that degrade the environment or that cause harm to the environment that we live, because we realize nature is key to our existence and we need to protect it. Secondly, is social impact, ensuring that our processes and activities are positively impacting on our customers. We don't exploit them in our pricing. We don't overfund them. We don't expose them to over-indebtedness. And when customers are challenged with repayments, we don't rush to foreclose, to auction, and sell their properties. We reason out with them and give them an easy route out of those challenges. And lastly is making sure that we run a sustainable business. Sustainable business both for Musoni and for our customers, because we need to be able to extend our services to more than 100,000 customers. You will not achieve that milestone if you're not sustainable as a business. So our pricing takes care of that, but we don't work pricing that would expose us or would leave us with abnormal profits. So we just need enough to make sure that we are a sustainable business. The non-financial services that we extend to our customers are actually made towards guiding them to ensure that they are running sustainable businesses. You'll be shocked. A number of customers that we work with at the onset do not know if their businesses are profitable. But they are being sustained by cyclic borrowing. By the time you're finishing this loan, you are taking another loan in order to keep the business running. So through our education programs, we are able to enlighten customers on how to structure their businesses and run them in a sustainable manner so that they're able to grow from their current status into a large-scale business.
Let's now turn to really the biggest conversation now, which is COVID-19 pandemic. How has it affected Musoni's business?
We have faced the full brunt of COVID-19. If you look at our customers being the bottom of the pyramid, any little or small economic shock hits them hard and direct. And there's no doubt about it. We see customers who have to open their shops in the morning, go to the Wakulima market to buy stocks in order for them to sell those stocks in the course of the day and pay their loan in the evening. So when COVID-19 came and the control measures instituted by the government were put in place, they affected the entire business cycle for our customers. You cannot do your business as usual. You cannot get supplies from China if you are a small-scale importer dealing with imported goods. You cannot just function as a normal business. And cash flows get affected immediately with no room to plan and make any adjustments. So that came hard on us as an institution, but we looked at it from three perspectives. One, how do we keep our customers going? How do we keep our customer businesses running? And for that matter, we extended grace periods or moratoriums, initially for 3 months, and we've extended that moratorium for selected sectors for another 3 months, so that you don't have to pay your loan in those 3 months when you've got constrained cash flows. We've also given our customers a chance to restructure their loans so that we're able to align the loan repayment amount or installment with the current cash flows that they are facing or they're able to collect. And we've engaged our customers consistently on multiple training fronts, so to give them educative materials, beginning with even COVID-19 and how they need to be careful and make sure that they do not spread it, and emphasizing the government message of ensuring that we all take care of ourselves. That one we've been able to deliver consistently through webinars with our customers, through virtual trainings, and the participation has been excellent, excellently taken. Then we looked at our staff. We run a business that has got about 400 staff, and you'll bear me witness, we've seen a lot of retrenchments and redundancies in the market because of businesses affected by COVID-19. And as I say, I think for us, we were primarily and directly affected by COVID-19. But we made a difficult choice of not retrenching our staff because we treasure them as much as possible. We know that they are the main asset that we have for the business. So we've retained all our workforce. We've made some slight adjustments in terms of salaries, reduction, in order to also take care of the business. And we've got a team of 400 very happy staff who are assured of their income every other month, whether COVID is there or COVID is not there. And that has made sure that our performance doesn't dip at all. And we are very proud of that achievement. Lastly, we looked at how to make sure that the business survives during this period, and we are able to resume operations immediately when COVID disappears. So we did take a number of cost-cutting measures that a typical business would take. We tried to look at ways of reducing our expenditures on unnecessary items, expansion. We put it on hold. We stopped recruitments, and we said let's focus more on the customers that we have than going out there to get additional customers when we already have customers that will probably require more attention from us than before. From where I sit today, I think we are a safe bet of our business and will be able to bounce back from COVID-19 strongly. We, however, are looking forward to looking at what support is there from our partners, what support can we tap from the government, because there are stimulus packages that are coming up, and we want to make sure that we leverage on those packages to give us even a much more stronger start when COVID disappears.
One of the strategies that have been proposed in terms of addressing the impact of COVID-19 is the creation of an SME guarantee scheme. Does Musoni have any existing partnerships to provide that kind of backup to SMEs that probably need to take out loans at a time when things are quite uncertain?
We do work with two major partners who help us in promoting access to finance, both for SMEs and smaller farmers, and I could mention them. So we do work with Africa Guarantee Fund. Africa Guarantee Fund has extended a generous credit guarantee facility to us that we leverage on to extend loan facilities to SME businesses. You realize that most of our bottom of the pyramid and micro entrepreneurs have got huge challenges accessing collaterals for their loans. So they've got nice businesses with very good cash flows, business plans and projections and all those things that tick the box. But they end up being financially excluded from mainstream financial services because they do not have securities. They don't have a title deed. They don't have, motor vehicle logbooks that would enable them secure loans. So working together with Africa Guarantee Fund, we've been able to come up with a package that allows us to tap into that guarantee facility and extend these loans to these customers. We've been able to grow our book largely through that facility that comes together with capacity development for both staff and customers to make them better. We also have a similar arrangement with USAID, but this one focuses on smallholder farmers in rural areas, those customers that have been deemed for a very long period of time to be very risky, and you'd rather, stay 100 miles away from them. So we do have a loan portfolio guarantee facility with USAID that enables us to place those customers under that cover. So for us, as long as you've got a small farm and a business plan on what you want to grow, the crop you want to grow, and projected income out of it, we are able to take care of you. And this has helped us ensure that we make farming a business for smallholder farmers. So they don't have to do farming waiting for surprise incomes, but they are able to plan and project. In this coming rain season, I'll be able to plant 1 acre of maize, and I'll land 20 bags of maize, which I'll sell at 3,000 shillings, which is 60,000 shillings. And my cost of production is 20,000 shillings, which I can now borrow from Musoni, and I'll be able to get that financing.
Finally, Stanley, what do you see as a new normal for Musoni Microfinance and generally for microfinance in Kenya?
When you look at the levels of financial exclusion in this country, or access to finance, and in the real meaning of financial inclusion, let's not count use of M-Pesa as a solution to access to finance, but real, where customers or micro entrepreneurs would require a serious working capital facility would be able to access it with the convenience that they deserve, flexibility that they need, and at the time that they need it. We still have a long way to go, and that gap can only be filled by microfinance institutions. So we've only scratched the surface. We need to come together as partners, not as competitors, and look at ways of deepening access to finance, especially in rural remote areas. And for me, anybody who can do microfinance within the agric space for smallholder farmers will be addressing the most important need that this country has today, solving the youth unemployment challenge that we are facing. Because we've got quite a good number of energetic young people who have got access to arable land and they can do farming, but they do not have access to the tools that they need in order to become productive. And we can do that, as peers within the microfinance space. Where do we want to be as a Musoni? We really want to be the microfinance or the financial institution to go to in the country. We want micro entrepreneurs to know that we solve their financial needs. And we've got those solutions with us. We are accessible from the comfort of their homes. As long as you've got a mobile phone, you can access Musoni services from wherever you are, and your financial needs will be solved.
And that's where we leave it on this first edition of The Bank, The Banker, and The Banked. Join me next week as I engage yet another key decision maker in Kenya's banking industry. My name is Stephen Kimani.